And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Edge Rushers episode. So, as you can expect, we will be talking about the 5 greatest edge rushers of all time. So, all 5 of us are here, by the way, and I don't think I have any more things to talk about. So, let's get started. Drew, who is your number 5 edge rusher?
Julius Peppers.
Ah, yes. Julius Peppers is my number 3.
He's also my number 5. I don't have Peppers.
I don't either. Okay. Well, my boy Julius is a 9-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro. He's part of the All-2000s, All-2010 team. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He has 159.5 sacks, which is 5th all-time. He's 2nd all-time on forced fumbles. Right, he's only one behind the leader. I think it's either Mathis or Freeney. It's one of the two. He has the record for most interceptions at defensive lineman with 11. Julius Peppers is just an athletic freak. I mean, the guy played basketball at North Carolina. You have to be good at basketball to play at North Carolina. You can't just be a bum.
Truth.
I mean, he was just a freak out there. I mean, those years in Carolina, I mean, some of those years with the Bears, he was nuts. I mean, so I think he's pretty good. His edge rushing style, I guess, he would always, I mean, as I said, he forced fumbles all the time. I mean, that's more of what he did. I mean,
he had 10 double-digit sack seasons. What's unique about him is he started out his career down with his hand in the dirt, and then transitioned to a 3-4 where he had to stand up and play outside linebacker and come off the edge that way. And then he went back to putting his hand in the dirt and being a traditional defensive end. So he had double-digit sack seasons by doing it both ways, which I thought was pretty unique. And like Drew said, he's 5th all-time in sacks and was just a really dangerous pass rusher for a lot of years. And he returned 4 interceptions for touchdowns playing defensive end. I think that's pretty cool. Anybody else have anything to add on Julius Peppers?
No, not really.
He doesn't have a nickname on here, unfortunately.
shoot.
All right, well, that was Uncle Doug and Drew's both number 5, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Wade, who would be your number 5?
I have Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas. Is he the only one?
I think so.
I just went with Derek Thomas. I mean, talking about a guy that had 126 career sacks, and his last year was age 32, and then he died in a car accident, I believe. Wasn't it a car accident? Yeah.
Yeah, but
So, I mean, he actually averages like more sacks per game than like Kevin Green, Bruce Smith, Julius Peppers. He just doesn't have the games played because he died in a tragic car accident. And he has the record for most sacks in a game. He has a 20-sack season. He's has over 40 forced fumbles. So, I mean, he only played to 32 years old and had 126 sacks and over 40 forced fumbles, and has the record for sacks in a game, has a 20-sack season. I mean, in his last 2 years in the league, before he passed away, he had 19 sacks in his last 2 seasons. So, I mean, he was still a dominant player. And yeah, I just think he unfortunately got cut short, but in his prime, he was one of the greatest pass rushers to ever play. And yeah, has a lot of records and is one of the greatest Chiefs players in Chiefs history.
He was a beast.
Indeed, he was.
That was a very big ordeal. I was just a kid, but it was a very big ordeal when he died.
Yeah.
well, especially living in Missouri, huh?
Yeah.
It was on everything.
It was like flip on ESPN or you read the newspaper or sports magazines, anything. It had Derek Thomas on it.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of it was he was like he seemed to be a really nice guy, and I think he did a lot of stuff in the community. and I think he meant a lot to Kansas City. So when it wasn't just that a Chiefs player died, it was that he was a good person, and I think he was really important to Kansas City, which just made it obviously a much more sad that he passed away so early and unexpectedly.
Yeah. All right. Well, was Wade the only one with Derek Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's everybody's number 5 but Ray.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I have a number 5 too. But yeah, go ahead, Ray. Who's your number 5?
Michael Strahan.
He's my number 5.
Yeah. There we go.
He was. I debated with him for a little while.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah, he was the last guy I looked up before I came here.
Well, what do you have about Strahan there, Ray?
He's got the record for most sacks in a season.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. Defensive Player of the Year. 7-time Pro Bowl. 4 All-Pro. And he got a dirty Super Bowl championship with old Eli Manning.
He's a 6-time All-Pro, by the way.
Oh, excuse me. And later throughout his life, he became a talk show host with Kelly. He took up for Regis. And now he's on Good Morning America. So
Doesn't he do $10,000 pyramid too?
oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot he brought that back.
I don't even know
That.
what that
Still on
is,
one of
so,
the
okay.
NFL shows.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
on Fox, isn't
I
he?
saw him yesterday because they were razzing him about the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Giants do
see
suck.
that.
That's for sure.
But yeah, he was always a solid player. The defense on the Giants when he was on them, that was the main focal point because, I mean, Eli might have had like Victor Cruz, but they weren't like top tier.
Well, I would say
receivers.
the thing that stood out to me with Michael Strahan is I feel like there's a very strong case to make that he was the best player on a championship team
Yeah,
because it sure as fuck wasn't Eli Manning.
no,
And it seemed like there for like that run the Giants made, it didn't matter who the other defensive end was. That defensive end got dramatically better playing on the other end from Strahan. With Strahan, getting close to 20 sacks a season, getting double teamed all the time, and then who was it, Justin Tuck and Osi Umenyiora, and those guys were also having double sack seasons, getting all the single coverage.
Yeah. Strahan was also good against the run.
Mm-hmm. He was an all around good defensive end. He was pretty big guy. He could like Wade said, play the run. He wasn't just one of those like skinny athletic freaks that got run
Just
over in the
went
back.
downfield. Yeah. Him and Peppers both were really good against the run. They were both complete defensive ends.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, anybody else have anything to add on Strahan before we get another guy here?
no, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I guess we're back around to Drew. Drew, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Bruce Smith.
He's also my number 4.
Also, my number 4.
He's my number 4.
Bruce Smith is my number Trace.
Okay.
So Bruce is in.
Yeah, Bruce is unanimous.
I would say that's pretty deserving.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't too surprised by that.
11-time Pro Bowler, 11-time All-Pro. He's on the All-80s, All-90s team. He has 2 Defensive Players of the Year. He's the all-time sacks leader with 200. Took him a long time to get it. I mean, he played 19 years.
Well, he never led the NFL in sacks, not one time.
Nope. But, I mean, he's pretty consistent. I mean, he had 15, 12, 11, 13, 19. And he got hurt 14, 14, 10, 10.5, 13, 14, 10.
I read an article on the way down here, or not on the way down here, before I came down here, that said not only did he never lead the league in sacks, that not once over his career was he considered the best pass rusher in the NFL, and most of the time he wasn't even top 3. And they left him completely off their top 5 list. And that was like part of their argument why.
Well, I mean, he's the Hank Aaron of the NFL is what he is. He was really good to great for like almost 2 straight decades.
Yeah, 4
Like-
Super Bowls.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
didn't win them, but he got the.
I mean, he laid giant eggs in those Super Bowls.
Right,
He didn't, come up and like do anything in those Super Bowls, which may not that
shoot, their whole team came up
Yeah.
short.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time him not being top 5. He has the more sacks than anyone else in NFL history. He has over 1,200 tackles.
Yeah.
1,200 tackles and 200 sacks and over 40 forced fumbles.
That's called a bulldozer.
That's nuts. He had
I mean,
what, like
part of me-
13 seasons of
Part of me
double-digit sacks.
kind of feels bad for just putting him at 4, even though he has that many. But at the same
Yeah.
time, but then I mean, I feel like he's definitely top 5 worthy.
And like saying like he wasn't the best defensive end in the league. I mean, I don't know. Like, I bet a lot of that's just subjective. I mean, look at that one season. He had over 100 tackles and 19 sacks in 1 year.
Right, that would have been 1990, and Reggie
probably
White would have
Reggie
been in the
White,
league.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he is the only man to have more sacks than Reggie White.
That
So,
is
I
true.
mean, so he's doing something right. I feel like he gets disrespected a lot, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves. 1,200 tackles and 200 sacks is absolutely nuts. And consistency and durability is a skill as well.
I mean, what about this? Say, you think some of the hate comes because they lost those Super Bowls?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think some of the hate's because he played for Buffalo.
I mean, if he wins just
that
one
too.
or 2 of them and he has 1 or 2 rings, I mean, I think they're probably saying, "Oh, he's the best."
if those Bills teams have won,
If they
their
win just-
entire conversation changes.
Yeah, they just get one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll still get made fun of for losing 3 of the 4, but
But they're
you got one.
champions, yeah.
You win one.
but they're champions. Like,
I mean,
all Norwood just makes that kick or whatever his name was.
yeah,
Like, everything's
Scott
different.
Norwood.
Everything is different for the Bills.
it's. I mean, all those great players on that team, their legacy gets boosted.
Like, even right now, like, all this pressure wouldn't be on Josh Allen to deliver a Super Bowl. Like, all this pressure that's constantly on Josh Allen, a lot of that wouldn't be there because, he wouldn't be trying to force a team that has never won to a Super Bowl.
So I think that's part of the reason why they hate on him. They just bring that up and throw that back in his face.
Yeah,
Which I think they do that to all those main guys on that team.
probably.
I think they do it to Thurman, they do it to Jim Kelly, they do it to Andre Reed.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, to make 4 straight Super Bowls, it is impressive. I mean, it's extremely impressive. I think they're the only team to ever make 4 in a row. But they're also the only team to ever lose 4 in a row.
But you're starting to sound like a LeBron fan here for a second there, Willard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about Bruce Smith mainly. I mean, that's pretty crazy stuff.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to add before we move on?
Yeah. If you like sports movies, Bruce Smith did appear in a sports movie called The Little Giants.
Yeah.
So go check it out.
Little Giants. I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah. Same here.
All right. Well,
2nd and 9.
all right. Well, that was Drew's number 4, correct?
Mhm.
And it was also my number 4.
And mine.
In mine.
So, Ray, who's your number 4?
JJ Watt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Watt did not make my list.
Got a youngin.
I did look at him, though.
I looked at him too.
Yeah, I thought
He
about
didn't-
JJ.
Didn't quite make the cut.
And by the way, this is somebody that everybody in this room got to watch play in his prime, and he was an absolute animal for about a 4-year period. He was completely unblockable,
That
He
whole
was
that
the
whole
best player
family
in
is
football
crazy.
there for a
Yeah.
little bit.
He
That
was.
4-year span.
and it wasn't just that he was getting a bunch of sacks. He also was putting up stupid tackle for loss numbers. He was also deflecting passes at a ridiculous rate at the line of scrimmage. Like,
The 1 year he played offense. He caught like 4 touchdowns the 1 year.
yeah, like he was just an absolute freak.
Well, here, let me read the sacks throughout the years. Rookie year, he had 5.5. His second year, 20.5. 10.5 the third. Another 20 sack season, 17, and then he fell off for a couple years and came back with 16. That's a fucking machine right
And
there.
then his final year, he had 12.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason he's not on all of our lists is just because his body broke down.
His
and
body
Yeah.
just
he
fell
couldn't
apart.
sustain
Yeah.
it.
Year 6, yeah, just.
Yeah, he just couldn't sustain health throughout that whole second half of his
Even when he
Right.
played, he had something going on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think his nose will forever be bleeding.
Yeah.
Once the injury started, they never
I mean,
really
he
stopped.
came in second in the MVP voting 1 year.
Yeah. I mean,
Like he was
that's
a
probably
beast.
the year he had all the touchdowns.
Yeah, they were trying to get him.
I mean, if you make an argument just based on how good someone was in their prime, I think he would be top 5. Like, if it was just about how good you were just in your prime,
Yeah.
I would put J.J. Watt in my top 5.
Well, he'd be ahead of Smith. He'd be ahead.
Yeah.
He'd be ahead of Strahan. He'd be. I don't know about.
He'd be in that 4 or 5 spot.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at Peppers and Thomas, but he might be ahead of them too. Like his
Yeah.
prime was so elite because he was doing so many things.
I mean, yeah. It was crazy.
I mean, this is like Ray said, in a 4-year period, he had 2 20-sack seasons and a 17-sack season in 4 years. Like we're like, oh man, he had a really down season. In that 4th year, he had 10.5 sacks.
Okay. He just got tired that year. He got to take some time off.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a guy that was getting 20 sacks, 80 tackles, 40 tackles for loss. Like
That is crazy.
What's it say? 3-time Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he won 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 16 pass deflections in a season.
Man, it's won a game.
Yeah.
He was nuts. He was absolutely crazy.
I mean,
He was in my division.
and I think his brother's going to take over. I mean, look at him on
TJ's
Steelers.
If he can
dude.
stay healthy.
TJ's not the all-around player JJ was, but as a straight-up just pass rusher, he's deadly too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, TJ.
He's already catching his brother in career sacks. He's
That's what I'm
already
saying.
like 89.
114 for
Because-
JJ.
Well, I gotta wait till the Reggie White part, but I'll tell you a funny stat that involves TJ Watt and Reggie White when we get to Reggie White.
So, by the way, JJ Watt has 2 nicknames on here, and I've never heard either one of them.
Oh shit.
The Milkman
I've not heard that one.
I like
I
it.
have not heard that.
and JJ SWAT.
You really haven't heard JJ Swat?
I've heard that one.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard that.
No, I haven't heard the Milkman.
No.
The Milkman.
Yeah.
Why is it the Milkman? I want to know the story behind the
I was
Milkman.
gonna make a comment on that, but I don't think it's appropriate.
But no, JJ Swat, we say it all the time.
Well, I'll say it then, Wade. Why? Because he goes to mothers' houses and flips it in the back door.
Oh.
Well, I guess my other
that.
thing is too is like JJ Watt is like the guy that made like workout videos cool and like mainstream. Like his like insane like workout complex in the backwoods of Wisconsin and putting out all these videos and everybody watching them. Like that was like the first athlete I ever remember like that being like, oh my god, everybody has to watch the new JJ Watt workout video.
Well, he was one of the big Hard Knocks stars. The one year they did on the Texans.
Yep.
They videotaped him like doing his after practice drills he does by himself, and he blew the fuck up all over the internet after that.
Well, I remember him like box jumping.
Yeah, he was like,
insane.
he was doing like some like 48-inch box jumps like with
almost
weights
300
on his
pounds,
shoulders.
yeah.
Yeah, and like
Like,
just like stupid
this
stuff.
guy should not be able to jump that high.
Like Miles, you ever seen Miles Garrett's videos?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's nuts.
Miles
Miles
Garrett's another-
Garrett basketball videos.
Yeah, why I him yakking on people. and stuff. No, he's a crazy freak too.
No, yeah, look at Miles Garrett. Pictures of him in high school. He was running back.
Really?
Yeah, one of their games I showed him, and he was the running back. He played defensive end and running back in high school.
Imagine
Like-
trying to tackle Miles Garrett.
Well, they show him next to his lineman. They're like little, but then it's just him behind. I'm like, there's no way. Like it was insane.
That'd have to be like a group tackle every time. That ain't happening no one-on-one in space.
No.
So can you imagine being Derek Watt? Like
No kidding.
you're the third brother. You're the and he makes the NFL. Like that should be a huge accomplishment. And your brothers are like superstars, Hall of Famers, and you're just a fullback that like played 6 years in the
NFL
league.
that has like
yeah.
two teams that use fullbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Cooper Manning. You got the whole family, the quarterback killers,
Yeah.
you know, then you got Cooper
At
Manning.
least Cooper has.
Yeah,
Cooper's
disease.
I mean, I want to say he has an excuse, but I don't think that's the right word. I mean, if he plays, he could be paralyzed.
Yeah, I mean he has he had
I think Cooper's done all right for himself.
He's kind of become a little more popular, I think, after Peyton and Eli retired.
Well, and
Because now that-
his kid now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Arch?
Arch, yeah.
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 I mean, Cooper is funny, though.
He is
I like
yeah.
Cooper
All the
is funny.
Mannings have kind of a little...
I love how they
Fun
all
personality.
pick at each other. And
They do. They're pretty fun.
All right. Well, nobody has a 4 left now, correct?
Nope.
Right.
The biggest segment was for JJ Watt.
He's an interesting dude. So does anybody have a 3 left?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
Uncle Doug, who's your 3?
Deacon Jones.
Oh, Deacon Jones.
Deacon is my number 2.
All right.
He's my number 2.
That's
All right,
3.
there we go.
Okay.
Old Deacon. Of course, being a Rams fan, I love Deacon Jones.
Deacon Jones is a monster.
And I got to see him play a little bit when I was a kid. Not a lot, but a little. But yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
look, he's got
Woo!
The span
Yeah,
from
okay.
64 to 69 is insane.
20 sack seasons.
Yeah. They're just not official. That's why I don't see him on some lists.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like 8 double-digit seasons. He has 173 and a half sacks, which would put him third on the all-time list if it had been an official stat then. Most lists don't list him at all,
Yeah.
but his 173 and a half would be 3 all-time.
That's because they didn't keep track back in the day.
Yeah,
Sacks
they've
don't
gone
become
back
official
and
till
looked at the
82.
film, and that's how they've gotten there.
I
Gotcha.
don't think sacks are official until 82.
Yeah. 8 Pro Bowls,
Is it that
6-time
late?
All-Pro,
I think
5
so.
first team.
He almost won an MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Oh, yeah, right here.
He's got a couple
I know.
Defensive Player of the
That one.
Year.
There you go.
He lost to Johnny U.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was just unbelievable.
He has the most unstoppable move of all time. I mean,
That
it's
head
not
slap.
legal nowadays, but I mean, when he played, I mean,
Yeah, offensive linemen had to hate him. I mean, they just had to hate him the way he slapped him around.
Well, the crazy part is he got over 170 sacks in an era where they threw the ball like 15 times a game,
Right.
and he also
were they only like what play?
he
How
did
many
not
games they
play
play?
near.
Were they
early on.
were they 12 game seasons or 14?
Early might have been 12, and then later on.
I think he played a lot of 14 games.
It says he
yeah.
played 14 games his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had 22 sacks in 14 games. I mean, if he plays 2 more,
Yeah. I mean, I'm just being sarcastic with the number 15, but they just didn't pass a lot back then.
yeah,
Right.
But he got 173 career sacks, and he did not play the amount of games that a bunch of other, like Bruce Smith played like 80 or 90 more games than him, and they're only separated by like 25 sacks or 26 sacks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
we
like,
have no forced fumbles and tackles because they didn't keep track of those either.
yeah. People argue that he is the greatest defensive end of all time. There are
He was amazing.
older people that will tell you that Deacon Jones is the GOAT, and he was the man.
So, yeah, that's why he's number 3 on my list. I told Drew I was trying not to be a homer and put him too high, but
I told you. I said every time you talk about all the other stuff, I said all of us are with you. We all most time all of us agree.
Yeah.
So I should have gone higher.
How about I say you did this with Magic?
I
You did
know.
this with some other people. You
I'm
do it all the
trying to be
time.
fair here. I know I'm biased.
Yeah.
Well, anything else about Deacon Jones before we move on?
He is the only person. I can't remember if I'm going to say this or not. He's the only person with 3 20-sack seasons. Did you say that?
Yeah, he's had. I didn't know he was the only one, but I knew he had
No,
3.
no one else has 3 20-sack seasons. Deacon Jones is the only person to ever do that. But it's just unofficial. So on the official list, it says that J.J. Watt's the only person to do it twice. When in reality, Deacon Jones did it 3 times. It's just not official. Because the sack wasn't invented yet, even though he invented the term
He
sack.
invented the term, yeah.
Yeah. He's the original sack master.
All right. Well, does anybody have a 3 left?
No.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Drew.
Oh, I have a 3 left.
Who's your 3, Drew?
Reggie White.
Ooh, Reggie's my dose.
He's my 1.
Reggie's my 2.
He's my number 1.
So we all have Reggie, of course.
Cinco.
Yeah.
As it should be.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
At first, I didn't know if you were messing with Alex or you were being serious at
No, I'm
first.
being for real.
So I was just sitting here. I was waiting for a second. Like, is he poking at Alex or is he being for real? I didn't know which one you were going for.
I like Reggie White.
His name is the Minister of Defense. You can't fucking leave him off your list. What the hell?
Right, he's got to be on there.
Don't be coming at me. I have Reggie in the top 3. I have him.
Oh, what do you got?
Shit, I was gonna let you do it. It's your guy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, he has 198 career sacks. Argument over. No, he does have 198 career sacks, which is second all time. He was first when he retired. As we mentioned earlier, Bruce Smith has since passed him. He has a 20 sack season to his name. He has a 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He is another guy that we don't have a complete list of all his stats because they didn't keep track of like tackles for loss or QB hits or things like that.
Look at the tackle thing there. They don't start showing his tackles until 94.
Yeah.
They don't start splitting them up into
Yeah, how crazy is that?
He also has over 1,100 tackles for his career, which is a big number. He didn't, and he played like 4 less seasons than Bruce Smith. So that was a interesting one. He didn't return any interceptions for touchdowns like my boy Julius, but he did score 2 touchdowns off fumbles. So there you go, Ray.
Yeah.
Got you. But he had one. What?
No,
you're
it's
fine.
the game in the background.
No, everybody threw their hands up in the air, and I was like, wait, what?
The Broncos ran a stupid route on 3rd down. You're good.
On 3rd and 2.
I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Reggie also has 400 tackle seasons playing on the defensive line.
That's crazy.
And back-to-back seasons, he had 133 and 123 tackles.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
To go along with 18 sacks and 11 sacks.
The funny thing I was going to tell you that involves T.J. Watt and this rascal. T.J. Watt just set like a record in his last game where they said he was he had the second most sacks ever by a player through their first 100 games. He had 89. Reggie White is first with 105. Through his first 100 games.
I saw that same thing. He had 105 sacks in his first 100 games.
Yeah, and T.J. Watt is second all time with 89.
Yeah.
So Reggie White holds that record. He holds the official record for highest sack per game average in NFL history. Belongs to Reggie White. He was the fastest. He was the fastest player ever to 100 sacks, and then he had the most sacks through 100 games. Second all time in career sacks. I mean, he was. Lots of people would tell you he was maybe the strongest player they ever played against. He just moved people the fuck out of the way and did whatever he wanted with them.
Go watch his highlight tape. It's like so impressive. Not that a lot of these guys aren't impressive, mind you, but like his first off, he was very, very popular for smacking guys upside their helmet as well. But his main move, he called the hump. He literally just put one of his hands in the middle of the tackle's chest and just picked them up off their feet, essentially, and walked back to the quarterback and grabbed the quarterback with the other hand.
Didn't he do like a push-pull, too? All the time.
He had a lot of counters, too. I mean,
But I thought when he would push you and the tackle was trying to do it, he would just pull him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was a beast. And he was also so big you could line him up inside. He's 290.
He could do either one.
Yeah,
he would find the weak link on the offensive line and stay there. I mean, there's been a handful of guys that do that. Aaron Donald does it now. J.J. Watt used to do it. White used to do it.
I would, the part that really bothers me, and I hate to say this about my Eagles, but like, in all reality, we wasted the prime of Reggie White because our defense was really good, and we would go to the playoffs every year, and Randall Cunningham and our offense would like just not score. Like the defense would go up and would give up 7-10 points, and we would lose.
Yes.
And then it'd be like, what are we doing here? And then Green Bay brings them in, and they're like, all season long, you remember this, Uncle Doug, all season long, all they talked about was Reggie White came in and changed the culture in Green Bay. He came in and changed the culture in Green Bay, and then they win a Super Bowl.
Right, yeah.
But Favre went out and scored points.
Yeah.
He scored more than 10 points a game.
That's
yeah.
right.
Favre put up points.
Yeah.
He made a lot of mistakes, but he He made a lot of good plays. Too.
But I mean, also I read a thing a while back that was like one of the first things Reggie did once he'd established kind of a culture and like himself as a leader was he went to Brett Favre and be like, if you want us to win a Super Bowl, you have to quit turning the ball over. Like you can't put our team in that position. Like you need to cut down your turnovers. Like seemed like Reggie White was not just a great player; he was also a leader and somebody that could set a culture and set a tempo inside your locker room. But yeah, I think that's all I got. His name is the Minister of Defense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add before we move on?
Mm-mm.
No.
That was our last number 3, correct?
Yeah.
So who has a 2 left?
I lost track of where I'm at. I have a 3 left, I think.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lawrence Taylor
Oh, he's my 2.
is my 3.
He's my 1.
LT is my one.
Yeah, that's my one.
So LT's in,
Taylor.
which I figured.
So that's 3 unanimous. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so it's going to be a showdown for the
Yeah.
couple spotties, huh?
I thought this was a possibility that these 3 would be unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the most popular and the most intimidating probably player we're going to talk about. I mean, when you have the GOAT conversation on the defensive side of the ball, lots of people bring up Lawrence Taylor. And for a stretch of time, he was the most dangerous man in football. And that's why I had him in my top 3. The reason I had him at 3 and not higher than those other guys, he just didn't quite have the sustained success, of just some of the longevity numbers, pretty much, and some of the same tackling numbers, even though some of the defensive ends out tackled him and put up more total sacks. So that's why I dropped him to 3 instead of 1 or 2. But yeah, he's still easily in top 3 edge rusher of all time.
Yeah. 3 defensive players of the year. 10
An
Pro Bowls.
MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An MVP. We just talked about guys got MVP votes. This guy won the damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
Well,
you were scared of Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone
you were scared
knows.
before, but then after he broke Joe Theismann's leg, you're like, oh, shoot.
I mean, that's one of the most famous plays. I mean, it happened on Monday Night Football. All America that loved football was watching. And that was before they cut away. They showed that play over and over and over. My dad and I were sitting watching that. And after a while, we're like, enough. I mean,
Well, then as soon as he tackled him and got up, wasn't he signaling to the sideline?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was
LT
waving
started
immediately, yeah.
Yelling and waving immediately.
I mean, I've obviously never done anything like that to somebody, but I have to feel like it's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
Like even when you're like a guy that's, like you're a professional football player and like, there's a possibility you could hurt people. There's certain things you do to people. It's got to be kind of sickening to know that you did that. And
I don't think Lawrence was trying to. He just tackled him
no,
awkwardly.
I don't think he was trying to
It was
either.
just about-
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he came around the end so fast and was on the quarterback before they knew it.
So this is another thing that irritates me. Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor played pretty much the same time, and we don't have tackle numbers for Lawrence Taylor.
So I just looked up Lawrence.
Yeah.
He got like 1,000 tackles. It's like 1,088.
Yeah.
It just depends on which teams kept track.
It's stupid.
It's dumb they didn't make all the teams do it.
I mean,
Like tackles are easy at this point. I mean,
and on defense, tackles are pretty important.
Yeah.
Why didn't they keep track of them?
Especially for a linebacker.
Yeah.
so yeah, he had about 1,000 tackles. Yeah, he did. A little over.
It's just sad that LT's life has been such a mess outside of football.
Yeah.
He probably could have been, one of those guys that goes down as like, everybody is just like, I don't know. An overall legend, I guess. And
Like a true icon.
yeah, that's
he
a good way to put it.
The off the field stuff ruined his celebrity almost.
Mm-hmm.
To where he's almost like this mythic figure almost. You don't really see him much.
No, you never.
like out doing nothing, or you don't see him in the public eye at all. Like he's just this nutbag that destroyed the '80s.
Yeah, he showed up in '81.
He's been arrested a bunch of times. He's been.
There was a bunch of cocaine problems, and
I mean, there's cocaine problems, but wasn't he the one that got in trouble for the sleeping with underage girls and stuff? Wasn't that him?
Oh, shoot.
I don't want to guarantee it was, but because I don't want to put that on somebody if it was
allegedly.
I just know you just don't hear much from him. Every once in a while, he'll show up at a Giants event when they honor those teams.
In,
didn't Adam Sandler
Any
movie?
Given Sunday, that movie.
Yes,
He plays a linebacker in Any Given Sunday.
He's a nutbag in that movie.
Oh, he is.
He's nuts. It's a crazy movie in
And
general.
he may be in a couple other movies. I mean, he had a little bit of an acting career there for a
He
while.
showed up in Adam Sandler's is it Waterboy? He's doing a camp with little kids, and he invites Waterboy.
yes.
At the very end, he goes, "And
Oh,
kids, don't
yeah.
do cocaine."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor's a sex offender. He has to register as a sex offender.
Oh my god.
I just googled it.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's not the guy you can have like doing Sunday Night Football.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Like he
know, like-
ruined his like celebrity.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
kind of hangs out. And like you said, every once in a while you see him at a Giants game when they talk about his teams or him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's talked about a lot in the Bill and Bill 30 for 30.
Yeah.
They talk about they coached Lawrence Taylor, so like they talk about him for a while, and like, but yeah,
Just
Yeah.
you think anybody from that Giants team hangs out with him?
Who the hell knows?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know.
Like, I mean, it also like almost like takes away from like his on-field stuff too, because like you see like his career starts and you're like, okay, he has a 9-sack season, that's cool, 7 sacks, 9 sacks, and then like it ramps up 11, 13, then all of a sudden it's like 20, goes back down to 12, 15, 15, 10, and then it's pretty much over from there. But like you hear all the stories and it's like, oh, like he wouldn't practice and he slept through his meetings and he was coked out all the time, and but he showed up on game days and played real hard, but he was drunk and he was high, and he didn't take anything seriously, and he would scream and yell at the coaches and so on and so forth. And you're like, okay, so what you're saying is he didn't take football seriously, and so if he did, what career would he have had?
Yeah.
Could have been nuts.
Yeah. I
Could've been
mean, really
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, there's lots of people that will tell you that he's the greatest defender ever. I mean, it's even
Mark
with all
Tyler will
that-
tell you that.
Yeah, tons of people who do who.
Mark.
Oh, I mean, tons of people say that. Like, it's not like it's most conversations I hear are him and Reggie White. I mean, and it's everyone says he was like this. The way he wrecked everyone's game plan, like how easy it was, and this, like you had to, he ruined your entire game plan because you couldn't control an entire side of the line of scrimmage. Like he pretty much eliminated 80% of what you could do just by how like disruptive he was at the line of scrimmage. Even if he wasn't getting sacks, he was blowing something up. He was pressuring the quarterback. He was, just everything, blowing up the double team, just disrupting the rhythm of the entire offense. And they said that he was everywhere, just wrecking havoc, and it disrupted everything.
I mean, one of the Monday night games, I think it's the story of him not being there. Like he missed the first quarter, and like he's like, I think the story is like he's driving by the stadium and the lights are on, and he calls someone like, "What's going on at the stadium?" He's like, "We're playing." Oh, and then he comes in and plays. I'm pretty sure because he missed the first quarter of a game and he shows up late. There's some story behind it. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Well, you also, like, during the Bill and Bill documentary, like, Bill Belichick is, like, pissed off. Like, he goes to Bill Parcells and he's like, hey, what do we do when players sleep through meetings? And he goes, Bill Parcells is like, oh, you do this or that, or I can't remember what he tells him. And he's like, oh, who is it? And he's like, it's Lawrence. And he's like, oh, then we do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and Bill Parcells, like one of the biggest hard-ass coaches that roam a sideline, is like, no, it's Lawrence Taylor. We don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's just Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like,
We have the best player in the world. You shut up and let him sleep.
If he wants to sleep through a meeting,
As long as he can play like he plays on Sunday, we're leaving him alone.
Yeah.
as long as he keeps producing.
If he's on
Performing.
time or not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody have anybody left? I'm out.
I'm out.
I believe I'm out.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't have anybody.
So that's it.
Yep.
We have. Oh, it keeps moving.
Jesus.
So we
9.
have 3 unanimous,
5 guys for 2 spots.
5 guys for 2 spots. Yep.
All right, so I'll go ahead and pull over these guys.
So Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and Lawrence Taylor are on the list.
Yep.
And we just have to get 2 more guys out of Julius Peppers, Derek Thomas, Michael Strahan, J.J. Watt, and Deacon Jones. We have 2 guys with 3 votes in Peppers and Deacon Jones. We have 1 guy with 2 votes in Strahan, and then we have some solos with Derek Thomas and J.J. Watt.
Who had Strahan with Ray?
Me.
Okay.
Wow, that was a dime. Sorry, we're watching the Bills Broncos game on Monday Night Football, and Josh Allen just totally dropped a dime.
Well, where do we want to start here, boys?
Well,
What do we want to start with, the 3s or the 1s?
Well, is there anyone who has a deal in mind, or anybody who's willing to come off of someone just off the top of your head, or?
yep, I got it one.
Okay, go for it.
I'll take my J.J. Watt pick, and I will go slide it over to Deacon Jones.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Ray.
Yep.
So J.J. Watt is officially out.
Hashtag sorry, bro.
So now we have 4 guys for 2 spots instead of 5. So thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
And Deacon's up to 4.
Yes, he is.
Go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who had Peppers?
Me.
I did.
Who
Me,
was the-
Drew, and Knuckle Doug.
Okay.
All right, Alberta, I'll make you a deal.
Okay,
You don't have Deacon, right?
correct.
If you come off a Strahan and go to Deacon, I'll take off my Thomas and go to Peppers.
Deal.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I
Deacon
guess sign
Jones
me.
is in.
I guess sign me up for Peppers too, and we'll just get this done.
All right, there we are. Woo! Drew, do you have another 5 week?
Yes, sir. We're perfect. Keep it rolling,
I
baby.
had a 5 week.
Keep
this
it rolling.
week.
I'm 4 for 4. Just like at Wendy's. By the way, they're
that's
not sponsoring us. I'm just saying.
They can though if they want.
I mean, if they want to, I'll eat a 4 for 4 on an episode. If they want to send it, I'll eat it.
Yeah. We'll even start recording episodes on and putting videos up with us, eating Wendy's if they want to do
That's right.
that.
I'll eat my chicken nuggets over here, my big burger.
Too bad you ain't
It's even
21.
against my diet, and I'll break my diet for these commercials.
Drew, too bad you're not 21. I take to casino for my lucky charm.
All right, so that makes our all-time 5 greatest pass rushers. I said that weird. Julius Peppers, Bruce Smith, Deacon Jones, Reggie White, and Lawrence Taylor. I think it's a pretty good 5, guys.
Yeah.
I think it is
It's
too.
a pretty fearsome 5.
I'd take any of the 5.
So let's do something real quick we haven't done before. Like y'all see online, the start 1, cut 1, or start 1, bench 1, cut 1.
Oh, yeah.
So start 2, bench 2, cut 1.
Ooh.
You get to play 2 ends. So
Oh, I get to play 2 of them?
yeah, play 2, bench 2, cut 1.
Okay. I'm playing Reggie White.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think I got to cut Peppers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was my 5. That's probably
Honestly, I'm going to go, I feel so disrespectful doing this, but I'm going to say it. Start Deacon and Reggie, then Lawrence and Peppers, cut Bruce.
I think I'm
going to keep Bruce and cut Peppers, but keep everything else the same as
I don't
Drew.
think I can put Lawrence Taylor on the bench. I think I'm going to have to start Reggie and Lawrence and have Deacon and Peppers on the bench and then cut Bruce
Well,
Smith.
as more as I was saying, it wasn't more as putting them on the bench. It's more like they come out for the second series of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was doing, more pairing them
Yeah.
up with, just
just rotate them guys.
put my
in.
boy Reggie and Deacon together, the two head slappers, and then when the two faster guys, Peppers and Taylor, come out, the tackles have already got concussions, so they just run right on top. That's what I was thinking in my head, but
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, we could use all 7 and we couldn't have had a wrong answer.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
It would have been just fine.
if you put any of the two out there at the same time, that's just nuts. Like
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I would not want to be that quarterback.
No.
Like, it's bad enough you got to worry about one of them, but
But yeah, one on each side. Man, that'd be miserable. Wow.
I mean, like I said earlier about Strahan. Like, he had multiple guys they just put on the other side of him that were super successful. Like, can you imagine if that guy was another all-time great?
Well, and looking at our list and going down through the list of sack leaders, I thought somebody might have Kevin Green.
I thought about him. I really did.
I thought about it, but I didn't realize he had that many sacks.
I didn't either. And, like,
Oh, yeah.
and I watched him play.
Yeah, me too.
You
'cause
know-
he played for the Rams for a little while.
He played for the Steelers and the Seahawks, and, like,
Yeah,
he played for a
all
bunch
over
of...
the place. But 160 sacks.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
I thought about DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware was a monster.
yeah.
He was a tank.
How many does Von Miller have?
That's what I was
Got
about to say because I
126
had him
20?
in
I
consideration.
can't remember if he'd gotten to 30 or 40 yet.
He's actually got like a higher sack per game average than like everyone up there except like Reggie and Lawrence Taylor.
He's a monster.
Well, another one that I really liked was Jack Youngblood that played for the Rams.
Yeah.
Doesn't
He's got 151 and a half sacks.
doesn't,
Also played in the Super Bowl on a broken leg.
doesn't Jim Marshall have a bunch? One of the,
Yes.
was he the defensive end for the Vikings?
He was a Hall of Famer, yeah.
I think he's like at 130 or something.
So,
The
let me,
Vikings had a group of guys.
I mean, there's like 3 of them that have over 100.
Yeah.
And
so let me ask you guys this. Is there anybody currently playing you think has a shot to make this list?
TJ Watt,
TJ.
Yeah,
TJ.
Bosa, not the
Yeah.
Chargers one, the 49ers one.
Niners. Yeah.
Nick.
The top three guys and Myles Garrett. Like those 3 guys run the league.
Okay, so
Defense.
let me ask you this: is there somebody that's been in the league a little bit that is like that has a chance to climb this? Because those guys are all maybe not Myles Garrett, but the other 2 are really young. You know, they haven't really like if their career ended tomorrow, we wouldn't even talk about it. They're like, oh, they got
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Who's
What about Cameron Jordan?
like Cameron Jordan or Von Miller.
Von Miller?
yeah,
I think would be the
Von
close.
Miller.
Because Von Miller's like already got a huge amount of postseason. He's got a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
Like,
He's got 2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls and an MVP.
I think he's got
yeah.
the like tied for the record for most sacks in Super Bowl history, like combined, like out of all the games you play. Because he had like 1.5 or 2 sacks in the Rams Super Bowl,
Right.
and he dominated Tom Brady in the AFC Championship and dominated the Super Bowl and won Super Bowl MVP. So like he might be the most successful postseason guy up there. Plus he just doesn't have the games played as some of these other guys to accumulate the numbers. That's really the only thing holding him back.
This is another guy who has a shorter career, obviously. What you think, Parsons, if he stays healthy on the Cowboys?
I mean, he's talented. Now.
Yeah, I mean he's super talented.
We just don't know.
Yeah, just like
I mean,
year
this is what,
3.
year 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think of it this way. Wade mentioned Nick Bosa. He said not the Chargers one,
Jimmy.
but 3 or 4 years into his career, we would have been saying Joey Bosa, and Joey Bosa's career's fallen off because it's hard to do it for a long time.
Same thing with Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack
Yeah,
was a
Khalil,
top dog
yeah.
for a few years, and he's still really good, but he just doesn't seem to be quite as big time. I think he did have like a 6-sack game this year, but
Yeah, that's what bumped his total up.
yeah, just kind of gave him crazy stats for this year. But and he's solid, but nobody. I can't think of a bunch of veterans that have been around a while in the defensive end position. I'm struggling.
Speaking of defensive ends, I'm gonna bring this up, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with the question I asked. What the hell are the Commanders doing? 2 young, very, very good defensive ends. You trade them both in the same day.
Yeah, unloaded both of them.
Money.
Bears were smart to grab him and sign Sweat.
I mean, I like Sweat, and I think he's very talented. It wasn't a bad trade. I thought you guys got in a bidding war, maybe, paid too much to have to immediately sign him to a big contract afterwards. But my other question is how many great defensive linemen can the 49ers have on when they only play 3 of them at a time?
Yeah.
They only play 3 down linemen, and they have like 6 Pro Bowlers.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, they traded for another one? They just signed Randy Gregory a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. They're just loading up.
And they've already got Bosa and Armstead and the defensive tackle from the Eagles from last year.
Hargrave.
Yeah, Hargrave, yep. Like,
That's who we got DeForest Buckner from.
yeah.
There's
yeah,
some
like
hockey
a couple
shift
years
it.
ago. Yeah.
They'll hockey shift it. They'll bring him in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have fresh guys all the time. Yeah,
Someone will get hurt. It's the 49ers.
That's true.
I mean, they just utterly destroyed the Jaguars.
They did after they losing 3 straight games.
Yeah, they looked awful during part of that bad stretch. But, I mean, people were talking about the Jaguars being real contenders this week, and then they got smashed by like 31 points or something like that.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look for them. But I kind of saw this coming because 49ers, people have been hating on them for the last.
I'm not going to lie. Trevor Lawrence doesn't overly impress me a ton. He's not bad by any means. I think he's a good, solid quarterback, but he doesn't really amaze me.
Here's something funny. Justin Fields has more passing touchdowns than he does this year.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Want to hear something real
Fields
sad?
hasn't played in the last 3 games.
Want to hear the saddest part? I have both of them in fantasy in the same league.
Oh, ouch.
I had to pick up Mac Jones to play a game the other day. I was pissed.
Who did I pick up? I remember.
I picked a good week. Mac Jones had 1 touchdown and no INTs the game I picked him up for.
There you go.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Picked up Goff this week. He had a good game.
No, Goff ain't bad. But yeah. Should we transition to our what if?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at Trevor Lawrence's stats. Yeah, so I think that'll end our defensive end portion of this episode and move us into what if. Uncle Doug, what do you got for us?
Back in the day, not that long ago, but a while, Ray Lewis was super dominant linebacker. He did not have legal troubles, but he was with some people that did. And what if he had gotten wrapped up in that and the league had suspended him? Or, I don't think anybody ever thought Ray did anything, but he may have known about it or...
Well,
Yeah.
they didn't try and bring him up on the murder charges. They
Right.
brought him up on obstruction of justice.
Exactly.
Because he was lying for the guy. And he ended up pleading guilty.
So,
Ooh.
So was it someone in his entourage
Yes.
murdered someone?
Yeah, like a double murder. It was 2 guys.
Yeah, I think 2 guys, yeah. Yeah, no, Ray didn't kill anybody.
Well, I shouldn't say that they did because it was never proven. It was never proven who did it. I'm pretty sure.
right, yeah, I don't think they ever proved it.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details from all this. That's why I'm asking questions.
But correct me if I'm wrong. That's right there at the beginning of his career, Uncle Doug.
Isn't it right after the Super Bowl?
It's right after the Super Bowl, yeah.
It's after they won the Super Bowl. Isn't it like at a Super Bowl party?
Well, if he's at a Super Bowl party, then
Leaving
It's
a
not-
Super Bowl party in 2000.
it's not
Yeah.
the year they win then.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's not playing in it.
What year did they win?
2000.
2000.
They won the 2000 Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of these weird year mixes where
So is this the one after they win, or is this the one before they win? Is this the year the Rams win?
so would that be the 99 season,
The 99,
2000 Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won the
2000 Super Bowl.
we won the 2000 Super Bowl.
So
Okay.
that because it's the 2000 Ravens is that dominant defense, right?
Yeah.
Everyone always says the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens.
Yeah. Or is it? Oh, now I'm doubting myself.
I think it's 2000.
Or is it the 01 Ravens?
It's right there. It's because
Yeah,
they win one of the years, one of the gap years, because the Buccaneers win the other gap year.
Well, it says it happens after a Super Bowl party. So if he's at a Super Bowl party, he's not playing in the Super Bowl.
Unless
Right.
The Ravens won Super Bowl 47. What was Super Bowl 47?
So it was year 2000.
Says he left a Super Bowl party in Atlanta. He was heading for his limo.
So they won the 2001 Super Bowl. So it would have been the 2000 season.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
So
year
it would.
Yes.
So if it was the year before that. So technically,
Right.
if Uncle Doug's what if is correct, he wouldn't have been on the Super Bowl team.
Right. He would not have been playing.
So
for
they
their
don't win the Super Bowl.
Right. They don't win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So let's just cut to the chase. They don't win the Super Bowl. Someone else wins.
I mean, looking at this thing that Ray's
Giants
got
get
pulled
another
up,
one.
Is it the Giants?
you know, he's
That's who they play,
charged
yeah.
with murder and then pleads
No.
guilty
Wade.
to
Did
obstruction
the
of
Patriots
justice.
make it?
What year? I don't remember what happens.
I don't know that playoff picture. I don't know who the
All right,
Ravens
let's look at the two. I'll pull it up.
I don't remember what all the details.
2001 NFL
I don't
playoff.
know all the
Yeah.
what teams. I just know the Giants make it in the NFC. Someone's playing the Giants.
'Cause they have that big year with Kerry Collins and they make a Super Bowl.
Kerry
The
Collins.
Giants.
Jesus.
All right.
Doug, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, if you think about what actually happened, he was charged with murder. They dropped that almost immediately, but he pleads guilty to obstruction of justice. What does the NFL do today to somebody that does that?
Well, that's
Probably a
true.
whole year gone or something crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know. It might be more severe than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
you're
obstruction's
pleading
is super serious in a federal case.
in
That's
a murder,
prison time.
double murder case.
Yeah, that's almost an accomplice charge.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say minimum a year, maybe more. Quite a
I'd
bit
say
more.
that might be a bigger deal. Like that's a pretty big deal. Like with as much as they crack down now after all like the Ray Rice incident and all that, like how serious they crack down on everything now.
They beat Oakland.
That's
That
probably
could be a real serious.
it could be a ban. I mean, especially if he gets hit
Maybe.
with a jail time. you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So they beat Oakland in the AFC Championship game.
Nice.
Yeah. And Oakland beat Miami. Well, they killed Miami before that. And Baltimore beat Tennessee in the second round, and they beat Denver in the first round. I don't know about you guys. That seems like a really weak
that the year of the-
AFC right
It
there.
does.
Is that
No
the year
Pittsburgh,
of
no
the
Bal-
miracle?
No
Music
Pittsburgh, no
City
Patriots.
Miracle?
Yeah.
No. Is that the year of the Music City
They
Miracle?
do that. That's the year the Titans go to the Super Bowl.
I thought it was the year.
Oh.
I thought it was the year after.
No, because they do it to the Bills at home.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, that's
Gotcha.
because that's part of that Titan story to get to the Super Bowl. That because they do it in the wild card round
Yeah.
Oh.
because they go from barely escaping the wild card to making. I think that's the same year. They're the only team that beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars were like 13 and
14
they're
and
4.
2.
They went 14 and 2. And they won their first game, and then they lose in the division round to the Titans. They get blown out, but the Jaguars only 3 losses to the Titans. They
All 3
They
games.
beat everybody else,
Yeah.
but the Titans like blew them out every game.
The Giants won 41-0 in the NFC Championship game over Minnesota.
Wow.
It was on the.
So good. Is that that's Culpepper?
I would say it's gotta be Culpepper.
Moss, and them.
Yeah.
And
Carter might be gone. Is Carter still there at that time?
then 01, he's probably.
I feel like that's Culpepper and Moss and maybe old Chris Carter. Maybe. I can't remember his like when he retired.
I think he would still been playing then. He might have left and gone to Miami at that point, but he would still been playing in 2001.
Oh, so we'll see, Steve.
So it'd been the
I'm
Raiders.
trying to think of all like the quarterbacks and stuff of all those
So
teams.
before I say anything else, are we saying that the NFL just suspends him for the season, or are we saying he doesn't have a career?
Well, it depends on.
That's the debate.
That's the debate.
Yeah, well, it
I mean,
depends on how they're going to work the charge. Like, if it's just him blatantly just trying to hide something, then maybe they'll, trying to keep it under wraps for his friend. Maybe they'll, dumb it down. But if they want to pump it up to maybe like an accomplice charge, then that's fucking jail time on a federal racket. And so that's probably like 5 to 10.
Yeah, if you just take those years off not playing, it's probably not.
Oh, if you go to jail for 5 years, you're not coming back playing in the NFL.
Right.
Right, you're done.
Yeah. No one's going to sign you. And you're just, I don't care if you do stuff while you're in jail, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
today's NFL is way different than then. I mean,
Yeah. Well, let's operate under that assumption that Ray Lewis doesn't have an NFL career after that. What is that? That wrecks a lot of legacies.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
I mean, Ed Reed's legacy probably looks different. Flacco's legacy looks way different.
Well, I mean, Peyton and Brady don't have to play those Ravens teams.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have to go through that juggernaut defense anymore.
Is the Ravens Ravens and Steelers rivalry even fun without Ray Lewis?
Probably not.
Like that's one of the best rivalries in NFL history, and that rivalry was mainly through the entire 2000s of those two juggernauts beating the shit out of each other. Like
Yeah.
without Ray Lewis, that's a boring rivalry.
So let me
Ed
ask
Reed's not
you
getting there
this:
for, like-
how much of a
Yeah.
step back does that defense take?
I say a lot.
Because
I mean, that's their leader.
I'm not saying they're going to be all-time greats like they were, but they still had a lot of really good football players in that defense. I mean, we just said Ed Reed's name, but Terrell Suggs was there, and he's on the all-time sack list. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about him in this episode, but he is on the all-time sack list.
Which team are you talking about? Like we're just talking about just 2000 Ravens. Like that's way before Suggs and Reed.
That's true. That's true.
like Bolware, fucking
Saragusa,
Yeah.
Adams.
all
I mean,
those
that,
guys.
honestly, that
Woodson's
their
there.
second Super Bowl
Yeah.
they might be able to, because that's old Ray Lewis, and the other two are older.
Yeah.
Because he retires after he wins.
Those Ravens' team was stacked. I mean, they had Haloti Naha and Terrell Suggs and Reed and Lewis and all kinds of people.
I mean, their offense was better than that Super Bowl, way better. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, as much as we dog on him, he's not bad.
Well, the
that year-
deal for offense was awful.
Well, and Ray Rice, I mean, he tore it up before.
Ray Rice was really good at football.
And then,
Well,
what was
and-
that receiver and the punt return, Jacoby Jones?
They had Torrey Smith as a deep threat.
Yeah,
They-
Torrey
they had-
Smith was there.
They had a
Yeah.
quality receiver. I just can't remember who it was.
Steve Smith?
Was he there for the Super Bowl, though?
I don't remember. Or was it? They had Keenan McCardell for a little while.
Didn't they have a really good tight end?
Oh,
I mean, they had Shannon Sharp in the first one in 2000.
Yes, very much.
And then
so.
later on, they had like Todd Heap, and then
Todd Heap,
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking of.
yeah,
And Ogden was just there for the first one, right?
yes.
Who's the next one?
Is Michael Orr there yet?
They had Anquan Bolden. That's who they had.
Anquan Bolden.
Bolden,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Who's
was-
the other left tackle? Because it's Ogden and there's another Ravens one before.
They've had a lot of good offensive linemen. They have Marshall Yanda at guard.
Yes, Yonda and then Ogden. I'm trying to think of the one in the middle. There's another. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts.
Well, they have a really good one now. He just always gets hurt. Something Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. No Ray Lewis. It's hard to believe the Ravens would do a lot of. I'm pretty sure the year they won the Super Bowl and they had that all-time great defense. I'm pretty sure Ray Lewis is Defensive Player of the Year that year. I think.
The second Super Bowl?
No, the first one.
First.
Oh, the second Super Bowl, he's hurt most of the year. But yeah,
The first one-
that was the deer antler spray year.
Yeah. Well, he gets hurt in the playoffs, though, doesn't he? He's not. Is he hurt in
only
the
played
playoffs?
in the last year that he played that Super Bowl year. He only played 6 games.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's Defensive Player of the Year and the other one, the Super Bowl.
Yes, he was. He was Defensive Player of the Year. He came in 5th in MVP. He had 137 tackles, 3 sacks, 14 tackles for loss. He had 2 interceptions and 0 forced fumbles.
I mean, he won it probably because he was the best player on maybe the greatest defense ever that year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have. They had some crazy record. No, I can't remember what it was.
Kelsey, Osamuli. I don't know.
Still talking about left tackles.
Yeah. I had to look it up. It was bothering me.
So they had a defense for that team: Ray Lewis, Rod Woodson, Jamie Sharper, Kim Herring, Rob Burnett, Kerry Harris, Dwayne Starks, Michael McCrary, Chris McAllister, he was good as a corner, Peter Boulware,
Bowler was good.
yeah, Sam Adams, he was a big defensive tackle, Tony Saragusa, the other defensive tackle. That was the big thing, is those two were so massive, and they ate up linemen, and Lewis was free to just come up and hit, and Anyway, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that I know on here, but I don't.
Rod Woodson.
Yeah, it was the second one I said. Um, yeah. Jamal Lewis had 5 tackles that season. I guess that was a deal for interceptions. By the way, Jamal Lewis was a beast for a while too.
Yeah, he has a 2,000-yard season.
He does, yes.
No, that's a tank of a man right there.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
5'11", 245.
That was a bowling ball.
5'11" at 245.
He was a bowling ball of muscle. You don't remember what Jamal?
No.
And he went to the Browns after that.
He was just a little rock of muscle that has plowed through people. It was. If my phone wasn't low on data, I'd show you.
gosh. Yeah, I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah, in 2003,
Wow.
he ran for 2,066 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was a monster. Oof.
I'm 5'11". I can't imagine me being 240 something pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
He was a beast.
Yes, him.
Yep,
you go,
that's
Ray.
him.
Tank alert.
I mean, that's just nuts.
So, what direction are we taking this conversation? Which Super Bowl team do we want to focus on, or is there a different topic we want to hit on, or?
Well, we've kind of said the first one we don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't get that first one. Without Ray's leadership and
With the lack of offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they won those games because their defense didn't let anybody score.
right.
Like
And if you
literally
take
for
the-
like weeks at a time.
Yeah.
People
Right.
wouldn't score.
And if you take their best player off, yeah, they would probably still be a good defense, but they were like maybe the best defense of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you take out the greatest middle linebacker of all time, there's consequences to that.
Yes. If we transition to the second one, it's kind of like Alex said, Ray Lewis was hurt that year. It's his last
Yeah.
one.
The second one.
Ed Reed and Suggs are there, who are both Defensive Player of the Year. Both have won. That offense is better.
And
Right.
Haloti Naha was an all-pro defensive tackle on those teams too.
I mean,
And they had studs on offense, and
I think they could have still won that one.
Yeah, I think so. Too. I think they lose the one. The other one probably still get.
Yeah.
So who do you think's going to win that first one?
Well, if you go by just who was in the AFC Championship game with the Ravens, it's the Raiders or the Giants.
the Raiders were really good at that time because
I mean, does Gruden get one, and then the Raiders don't trade him to the Bucks, or has he already been traded at this point?
was this the year?
Is the year right before the Bucks go? Because don't the Ravens win before the Buccaneers?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it goes Rams, Ravens, Bucks, Patriots.
Or the Patriots Bucks.
Patriots, Bucks.
Rams, somebody, and then Patriots, I think.
And then it's Bucks.
Because we were back.
Gotta be Ravens. So gotta be Rams, Ravens, Patriots, Bucks, Patriots.
Patriots, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the Patriots had the 2002.
And then 4 and
Because
5.
they got it right after the
We
Twin
got
Towers
2000.
went down.
We weren't in it in one. We weren't in two, and the Patriots beat us with the last second field goal.
Oh yeah.
And the second half comeback,
Somebody sounds bitter about this.
Yeah.
right along with the Eagles fans and the Carolina Panther fans.
Don't forget about the Colts either. We're right
That's
there
right.
with
The
you.
Colts faced them all the time.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah, we got the most.
So I just
Yeah.
pulled this up. So in this season, I don't remember this. So a couple seasons later, Rich Gannon wins MVP and goes to the Super Bowl against the Bucks.
Right.
But he came in fourth in the MVP voting this year.
So we talking about the Raiders finally getting over the hump?
Maybe. When they were contending for Super Bowls for a few years in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it took the Tuck rule to stop them the one year, and then
Yeah.
The Ravens team shut them down. They
yeah,
lost to the Bucks.
Yeah.
two all-time great defenses and an imaginary rule. That's pretty.
Cool.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It ain't been called since. Fuck. Imagine they just randomly called a tuck rule in the middle of a game. Like how much it would blow up the internet nowadays. Like it's back, it's back. It had to be a Chiefs game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They did it for Mahomes.
I would be so done.
I'm
He's
like
the only one in the league.
on the 30-year anniversary of the tuck rule, do it for Mahomes so he can win a Super Bowl.
Well,
I'd be so mad.
didn't the dirty ass Patriots just do a fake spike the other day or something?
Yeah, he threw an interception.
We caught
Yeah.
it, yeah. But they tried.
The Patriots are so bad.
Because they ain't cheating. That's why.
We finally made it past it. Who would have thought? When I was young, I'm like, they're never going to be bad. I said they're going to be good forever. It's just
You know how long I waited for that little bitch Tom Brady to retire? I just waited and waited and waited. Now I can enjoy Sundays.
Belichick's got to change up his post conference because it's just annoying now. Like it was okay when you're winning, but now this just like monotone, no explanation, nothing. It's
It
just
was
annoying.
annoying when they were winning, I thought.
Well, maybe sometimes, but I mean, at least he had something to go on.
Like sometimes it'd be, every once in a while it'd be kind of funny when he would get out a reporter, but then sometimes it's like he's kind of just a dick.
as Tom shows up on the field.
Yeah.
So is this a I don't like that shtick thing, or is it because he's the Patriots coach? Wait, let me ask. So do you hate Pop for doing it too?
Well, sometimes it's annoying when you're rude for no reason. It's annoying in general. I don't give a fuck who you are.
So I heard this interview the other day. Howard Beck, the NBA reporter,
Yeah.
he was a beat reporter for the Spurs for years, and he said he's on a podcast I listen to now, and he said the other day that Pop does it on purpose because he thinks it's funny. Like after he does it, he always goes out and finds the reporter and apologizes and was like, "Hey, I'm not really mad at you." Like he's like, "Don't get me wrong." He's like, "Sometimes Pop does get mad."
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't get me wrong." He's like, "But he's like the whole like halftime thing," and he's like, "Pop thinks it's funny." He's like, it's a complete and total shtick.
I mean, he does have some funny moments when he does those little after the first quarter interviews on like TNT sometimes. But I don't know.
So we're talking about Super Bowl with Kerry Collins and Rich Gannon.
And one has to win.
Legacies are changing, boys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. And
Rich Gannon now has an MVP and a Super Bowl maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe a Super Bowl MVP.
and it probably changes the way younger people think about the Raiders.
Yeah.
Because, your generation, Uncle Doug, thinks the Raiders is a powerhouse.
Right.
They were the winningest team in 3 straight decades.
Yeah.
70s, 80s, 90s. The Raiders won more games than anybody.
Now they're booty.
And
They've been booty.
Essentially, Drew's whole life, they've been garbage.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't been good
Yeah.
since I've been alive.
Well, if they win that year, is Jerry there yet? Does Jerry get another Super Bowl?
Oh, no.
Ooh, I don't know.
If Jared, no.
Sneaky bastard Jerry. I don't know if he's there yet or not, to be honest, but it's right around that time he goes.
If he's on that team, he gets another one.
What did that mean? I gave him like 4 or 5.
But doesn't he have a really good year?
No.
They have a 1,000-yard season.
He's not there yet.
He's not there. Tim Brown's still there, though.
Yeah.
Tim-
Well, Jerry and Tim Brown play together.
They
'cause-
did, yeah.
Well, Jerry's there for the Tuck Rule game, so it must be like the next year when Jerry goes.
It would get Charles Woodson another Super. He already has
Yeah.
one, right? So
yeah,
they
he
get him
won
a
with the
second one.
Packers. Well, if the Giants win, Strahan gets another.
That's true.
Yeah.
It enhances Strahan's legacy. He's led 2 defenses to a Super Bowl championship.
Quarterbacks are the ones that Super Bowls completely change their legacies. So, we just kind of talked about Rich Gannon. Like, he has an MVP, he has a Super Bowl. Like, what does that do for him? But what does it do for Kerry Collins? Because Kerry Collins is kind of a forgotten guy in all reality.
He'd be Joe Flacco before Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
He'd be remembered for that crazy Super Bowl run and as being a decent, pretty solid, decent quarterback for a little while, and then just kind of disappears. He'd be more remembered. He'd be remembered like Flacco.
It'd be the Giant Super Bowls would be Lawrence Taylor, and then the Eli ones, and then Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins and the boys.
They'd probably be remembered for like Strahan or something.
But then, who's the quarterback for those teams?
Who was
Kerry Collins.
was Tiki Barber there?
Yes.
Tiki.
Okay.
Tiki was really good for a while.
Wasn't Tiki a little bit of a drama queen?
Yes.
Yes.
I think he still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Rondé better.
Yeah, Rondé. Rondé has a Super Bowl.
Is Tiki his full name, or is it like I don't know?
I don't know. I've always heard
That's
Rondé.
all I've
Tiki.
known him as.
Yeah, that's all I know is Rondé and Tiki.
Well, in this year, Kerry Collins came in second in comeback player of the year.
Oh.
I don't know where he was coming back from, but
Didn't he miss time with? I don't know that.
I think he got beat up and hurt quite a bit playing for Carolina.
Then they had one really good year.
Yeah.
Didn't have a good year in Carolina, and then
Yeah,
after
he took
that,
him to the playoffs.
Yeah, he took him to the NFC Championship game one
Yeah.
year.
Well, your Aunt Brenda used to have a Kerry Collins jersey.
just so I remember, I wore it to the Panthers episode.
That's right.
Gary Collins.
I mean, his rookie season, he was the quarterback of an expansion team.
Right.
He threw 2,700 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 19 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, but like we said, like that was the first year for an expansion team. Look how it worked out for Derek Carr.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, at least Kerry Collins had somewhat of a career afterwards.
Yeah, at least he survived.
Yeah.
he was only sacked 24 times.
It's about half what Carr was.
I don't know his half was it. Didn't he have a 72
Way
sack
half.
season?
I thought it was way up
I
there.
thought it was more than that. I
That's,
don't even remember.
I'll look it up. That's. I mean, I think he's better than his brother.
Yeah, till he got beat up.
Well, he never had any of the success that his brothers or has had in the NFL. I mean,
Right.
but he never played with nearly the team. I mean,
No.
and I think Carr has become underrated in the current Carr. What's his name? This one's Derek, right?
This is Derek.
David's
Yeah.
the one that got
David's
the shit
the-
beat out
David's
of
the
him.
one that was got beat up. Derek. Derek has become underrated. I think he's not a garbage quarterback.
Right.
You know, he's a solid NFL quarterback. You know, he's not a superstar and he's not a garbage quarterback. But I feel like he gets talked about like he's just hot garbage, right? A lot.
For these
Yeah.
years in Houston, rookie year, 76.
Oh.
The next year is 15, but he hasn't played the whole season. Next year, 49, 68, 41, then it's over.
Wow. I can't.
Almost 270 sack seasons in
Can
3
you
years.
imagine getting sacked that many times in the NFL? No wonder his career ended quickly.
Yeah.
76 in that 1 year. That's crazy.
Man.
What a beating.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wasn't Sam Howell supposed to pass it this year?
Is he? Has he been sacked that much?
Him and
He was at least on pace like a couple weeks ago. I think he had like 40 some through
Bryce
like
Young was
6
on
or
pace
7
for it,
games.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this past week or two have disturbed his pace, but
They just can't
He's-
do that to young quarterbacks.
He's been sacked 47 times so far this year.
Sam Howell,
Yeah.
that's nuts, man.
That is.
In 10 games, he's been sacked 47 times. That's almost 5 times a game.
Yeah. That's
Good. And he's going to play 17 games, not
Oh,
not
yeah.
16.
He's got 7 games. He's got 7 games to get sacked 30 more times.
Possibility.
That's
no, thank you.
it sounds terrible.
Nope, I don't feel like taking 3 hours to get out of bed every morning and half a
But he
bottle of
Against
hydrocodone.
Buffalo, he was sacked 9 times.
Okay.
He's been sacked 6 times twice this year. Once against the Giants and once against Arizona.
The 2 worst teams in the league.
I think the Bears even recorded a sack on him.
Chicago sacked him 5 times.
But the Bears have done it 5 times. You know that's a bad line.
The Eagles also got him 5 times. Atlanta got him 5 times. And we, the Eagles, who have the most sacks in the NFL, only got him once the first time we played him.
Probably why that game was close.
Yeah.
You have to make up for the next one.
Yeah.
I said we again. All right. Well, are we wrapping up this Ray Lewis mess we've created here?
Yeah, I think we got
Yeah, I think we got it.
All right. Well, thank you, Uncle Doug. I like to think about that. That was good. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this Pass Rushers episode, and we'd appreciate you tuning in next week for our Tight Ends episode. Yes, the 5 greatest tight ends of all time. That'll be an interesting one.
And we won't talk about Taylor Swift.
I won't guarantee that because Drew's here. But
God.
I can guarantee it. I'll put the check right now. Drew guarantee stamp on it.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee it right now, folks.
Mr. Pfizer.
all right. Well, thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.